Are you wondering how much energy a wind turbine actually produces? In this video, I'll discuss how wind turbines work, how much energy they generate, and what factors influence their performance. By the end, you'll understand what goes into turning wind into clean, renewable electricity across the UK. Wind turbines capture kinetic energy from wind using large rotating blades. As the wind passes over them, aerodynamic lift causes the blades to turn, spinning a drive shaft connected to an electric generator. The faster the wind, the faster the blades rotate, typically between 10 and 20 revolutions per minute. That movement converts kinetic energy into electricity, which is then sent to the national grid, and sometimes directly to local businesses. A considerable percentage of the UK's energy comes from renewables. In 2024 alone, the UK generated around 30% of its renewable electricity from wind, 5% from solar, 6% from biomass, and 2% from hydropower. UK wind farms generated enough electricity to power over 22 million homes, or about 3/4 of the households nationwide. That's enough energy to power every home in London, Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds combined, all from the power of wind. That figure is expected to rise as we move towards the UK's 2050 net zero targets. Every turbine has a different wind speed depending on its proximity and position. A single onshore wind turbine producing around 6 gigawatt-hours of electricity a year could power roughly 1,600 typical UK homes. That's an entire village running on clean, renewable energy. Though energy production depends heavily on local wind speeds, which usually range from 13 to 25 meters per second, that's about 30 to 55 miles an hour. If wind speeds drop by half, energy output can fall by a factor of 8. As a result, turbines can operate at around 15 to 30% efficiency. Developers plan for this variation when selecting sites, with areas like Yorkshire and Scotland being especially strong locations. The UK currently has around 42.7 gigawatts of onshore wind capacity in various stages of development. To meet net zero targets, the UK needs an extra 35 gigawatts installed by 2035. However, planning restrictions on new projects remain a major challenge. Onshore turbines also need to shut down during very high winds, above 25 meters per second, to protect their internal mechanisms. So, too much wind isn't necessarily a good thing. Offshore turbines are much larger and more powerful. For example, a 13 megawatt turbine standing at 260 meters tall can power a UK household for more than 2 days with a single rotation. Most new offshore turbines produce between 8 and 12 megawatts of electricity, sending electricity down their towers and beneath the seabed to offshore substations. Offshore wind speeds are higher and more consistent, typically above 7 meters per second, allowing for greater electricity generation than onshore farms. There are several factors that influence how much electricity a turbine generates. First is wind speed. Turbines start generating electricity at around 4 to 5 meters per second and hit peak at around 15 meters per second. Too much wind and they shut down to prevent damage. Most turbines generate some power about 80% of the time, but only produce around 24% of their maximum capacity on average. Turbine size also matters. Longer blades and taller towers catch stronger, steadier winds, meaning more energy. Double the blade length and outputs can increase fourfold. That's why huge offshore turbines are so efficient. And lastly, turbine type. Horizontal axis turbines, the classic 3-blade design, are the most efficient. Vertical axis turbines, which look more like egg beaters, generate less power but work great for urban rooftops and compact areas. So, how much energy does a wind turbine produce? It depends on size, location, and design. A typical commercial turbine can generate enough electricity to power thousands of homes each year, making them a key part of the UK's renewable energy mix. If you're a landowner thinking about hosting a wind project, we've put together a range of helpful resources, including our wind speed checklist and ultimate guide to starting a wind farm, to help you understand costs, planning, and potential income. You can find these linked in the description and on lumifyenergy.com. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with other landowners exploring renewable energy.